Hello viewers, this is Rise, and welcome to, as promised, my own work. I figured I'd start with the first RPG I ever made, with using RPG Maker 3, which is not a very good software, but not a very good developing tool. It's very limited. It's good for beginners, that's about it. And yeah, that game is Battle Beyond Friends by me. And yes, that did originally say my real name, but I decided to change that. Of course, those of you that have watched Tales of the Abyss probably heard my first name, because Ada was an idiot and called me it by mistake, and I forgot to edit it out. You can hear me facepalm too afterwards. Oops, I didn't want to edit. We want to play. But before we start, actually, this is not going to be like a Let's Play. Each episode is going to be 20-25 minutes, and I'm going to go over what I was thinking, the writing process of not just this work, but all of my works in general, and you know, things like that. What was going through my mind when I made each scene. You can still use it as a walkthrough, I suppose, if I ever release this game. I'm not sure if I'll release this one. It depends on the reaction, I suppose. I'm not a big fan of this game, so anyway, let's start up now and check out the prologue. Now, this is probably the most important scene to write in any piece of work that you're working on. The reason why I start immediately with something happening like this is to hook the player in this case, or reader, player in this case, with the question of why is this happening? So, if you have a very nice, well-written beginning that gets the reader, player, whatever interested, they'll trudge through even a boring middle. And that scene was rewritten. Now, this was not part of the original scene. This was added. And yes, a lot of times I have to revert to using a narrator because, well, this is how you make cutscenes in RPG Maker 3, and it's very limited. You just use portraits. It's kind of like how Wild Arms 4 does their cutscenes. Not a big fan of that first line there that Acelia says. Seems kind of stilted to me. This scene, not this scene, but the first scene there, got about 4 revisions. The dialogue was very cheesy, so I had to fix that up. And let's talk to Acelia. Let's see where we are. Oh, we're in Verdun. Alright. First town I ever made. Yeah, you're wounded, dude. No, not exactly. Oh, I guess he used to be one. We'll find out more about Biran later. Random caps for the win, I guess. I don't know why I did that. Yeah, his name is Biran. And she is Acelia, a pretty important character, actually. We'll be seeing more of her later. I like Acelia. Yeah, Biran's somewhat of a womanizer. Sure they do, Biran. I love her response here. I know, that dialogue just seems to flow so well there. I'm very happy with how that came out. And, this is obviously her brother, who doesn't look so good. Now, I had hoped to place him, sitting down or something, but you can't do that in this game, which is really dumb. There's no, down models. And because it's, on the PlayStation 2, you can't really import anything either. This is Burdock, first town I ever made, and probably one of my favorite towns in this game. There's a lot of... You learn a lot about this place. I like it. I'm not a huge fan of how open it is, but I like the town in terms of the development it gets. Anyway, let's check out what Biran starts with here. These are his starting stats. Ignore intelligence, it doesn't do anything. It's only for AI controlled characters. For when they're enemies, for when you fight character enemies. So like if you ever fought Biran as an enemy, the 60 there would be like a percentage of how often he followed his AI script of balanced. I didn't even know that at the time, so I just set them to random values. And luck, everyone's luck is set to 50 because RPG Maker 3 has a very weird luck system. Basically, if you have just one less luck than an enemy, you're going to miss most of the time. If you have just one more luck than an enemy, you're going to hit most of the time. So you have to set everything to even. And a 50 is a nice number for that. You could go with 0, you could go with 25, 75, 100. Really doesn't matter. But I would recommend setting them all the same. And as you can see, Biran is going to be quite fast. 3 is, I think, the most agility. Now, Biran isn't going to... Now, when you level up, there is some inherent randomness. So it's not like Biran's always going to gain 5 strength, 2 magic, 4 defense, 2 magic defense, 3 agility. No, he'll gain up to 5 strength, up to 2 magic, up to 4 defense, up to 2 magic defense, and up to 3 agility. But generally, your stat growth is the same. Intelligence and luck are fixed stats. They don't go up. And, yeah, no descriptions. I was a bit lazy with that. The descriptions are kind of buggy in this game, because if you fill up too much, it gets cut off for some reason. But yeah, because this is a skill, it will always do 75 damage. Skills ignore defense, but they don't take strength into account, which makes strength rather useless. And the point there is the amount of HP it takes. And the little reverse exclamation point means it hits one character. If there's 3, it hits all characters. And that's a sanctuary. You can revive characters there. I think you can cure poison there as well. And here's a landing field over here. This probably won't be as funny as my normal stuff, by the way, just so you know. But it's closed. Those open up near the end of the game to make traveling a little easier. That's one thing I kind of regret about Elemental Order, is I didn't put that in place. I may go back and change that. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, let's go see Drake. Oh, by the way, we don't have any items. We need to do something about that, like, immediately. You can say anything you want here. It doesn't really matter, but I guess it makes more sense to say the first one. Wonder what happened to his father. I'll show you the other line, just because. Watch it be, like, non-existent. And I am not one of the few. You can actually find out what happened to his father if you talk to another character. Which, well, I'm going to do right now. Show that off. Don't ask me where I thought of these names. Just don't. What about Tomas? Yeah, let's ask. Oh, okay. Should have capitalized Moonlight Cavern, but okay. Didn't need the extra S after the apostrophe there, but okay. You always see things that you miss. I did fix most of the typos. Probably not all of them. Oh, so yeah, that's how, and it's implied here that this town is some sort of refuge away from the war that's going on here. We'll find out more about the war later. The war is, well, not too important to the plot, but This game does have a pretty complicated plot. There's so many relationships in this game that it's kind of ridiculous. But I do my best to provide exposition and explain everything as clearly as I can. That's the inn. Don't want to go there. Now, weapons for Biran, unfortunately, are useless because they don't affect his skills. I get them anyway just because, you know, I guess it's better to be able to do a physical attack every once in a while. But other than that, no, I wouldn't worry too much about it. 15 strength and 5 defense. That'll be helpful. Let's go ahead and put Biran in the front for now. It doesn't really matter. The formation thing I'll go over in a second. I think that's it. We just want to get some items. And this is another one of my complaints about the software. The default shopping system is horrendous. And unless you use some really weird currency using variables, you have to stick with the default system. Believe it or not, this game has no gold check event. You can't, there's no variable for checking gold. How much gold the party has, which makes no goddamn sense. It's such a simple feature and it's not in this game. Or this software. Then again, I've been spoiled by XP. Now let's go ahead and pick up 1 MP vial. I'll go over items in a second. And yes, you have to buy things individually. It's just like old Final Fantasy games. It's really annoying, actually. Yeah, 1 more MP vial. Why not? Do I have enough for another HP vial? Yes, I do. That should be good. Now, you can only hold 10 items, I believe. But the nice thing about these items, you can use them 10 times. So I really have 40 HP vials and 20 MP vials. MP vials restore 75 MP to a single target. HP vials, 100 HP to a single target. 10 uses. Pretty good. Can't get life vials yet, but we will be able to pick those up soon enough. And before you talk to that guy there, probably a good idea to save. Oops, I spoiled Acelia joins the party. Darn. Yeah, I had recorded this earlier, but I'm not happy with the way it turned out. Unfortunately, when you do design towns in RPG Maker 3, you just have a default layout, and you can place buildings around it. And you can set, open fields or those airship things if you want. It's kind of limited. There is a really cool day and night system, though. Can I see the sun? No? Well, whatever. It'll eventually turn afternoon, and then go evening, and then night, and then back to morning. It takes forever, though. Yeah, you can't leave. Acelia told us not to leave. And here's my little hint that it would be best to not leave by yourself. Which means you need some help. Wow, look at this guy. Look at that skin. I'm not an expert by any stretch of the imagination, but you need a tan, man. That can't be healthy. Drake. Drake's dialogue was never revised, and it shows. This isn't so bad, but... oh my god, that line. That line is just horrendous. I couldn't just put "let us cross blades" or something. I'd change it, but... This is the first boss. Drake. Yes, already a boss. He's not that challenging. He is faster than Biran, but who cares? Just use Vengeance Slash on him. He'll only ever do a couple things to you. His normal attack does deal about 50 damage, but other than that, he's pretty pathetic. He can heal himself for like 20. Originally, this fight was much easier than it actually was, because you had like 700 HP. Yeah, you originally started with 700 HP, but it was just too much for me to keep track of with those high HP totals, due to the way damage calculation works in RPG Maker 3. Yeah, he can guard. This game is hard. It's very hard. Don't worry if you lose this battle. Nothing happens. You don't get a game over. At least I'm not worried about it. I keep thinking I'm doing a Let's Play here. Can probably get one more attack off. I'm a little worried about him getting 2 turns to my 1, but this fight should end before then. Yeah, he's already in lean mode. He probably just starts spamming Drake heal. No, he didn't. Did he ever use Drake heal this battle? Oh, whatever, it's not really that important. He's dead. Yeah, nice thing is when enemies are really weak, they go into what I call lean mode, and that signals that they are almost dead. More idle banter. Absolutely. We're going to Hallway Cavern. I mean Moonlight Cavern. I bet you do, Drake. No. Yeah. Don't keel over from that tan there, dude. Or lack thereof. I don't know if I should bring this guy out into the sun, actually. Might kill him instantly. Yeah, it's to the east. Originally, the game played this really crappy fanfare, and that's a screw-up on my part. There shouldn't be a message box. That top part of the message box shouldn't be there. I should have turned that off, because no one's talking. And Drake actually sucks. I mean, look at those stats at level 50. He's awful. Defense is good. But, I mean, Biran is going to way overtake him in only a few levels. Drake is only temporary. The nice thing about Drake, though, he's got free healing, so take advantage of that. And fix our formation. Let's put Biran in the back and Drake in the front. Now, since Biran's in the back, behind someone, actively behind someone, he can no longer physical attack, but he can't be hit with a physical attack. Can be hit with skills and magic, though. But Drake is just better at taking physical attacks right now. And if I put him in the 3rd row, I think that makes you less likely to get attacked. I don't really know. Just put him in the 2nd row, because, I mean, if there was somebody in the 2nd row and I put him in the 3rd row, there might be less chance. Enemies go by the same formation, by the way. Actually, I can save on the world map. It is a pretty serene landscape. I do like this, how this town came out. I kind of wish I had thrown more decorative buildings around, but it came out okay. And no, Dan doesn't say anything now that Drake is in your party. I never bothered to program that. And here we are on the world map. I like the way the world map came out, but one of my big complaints about the world map is due to the way encounters are set. They aren't set by, it's not like VX where you can set parts of the world map to have certain encounters, or XP where you can't even have a world map unless you do some tricky editing or tricky scripting, or import some tile sets and do some tricky scripting to have different encounters in different parts of the world map. Here it goes by what terrain you're on, so I'm not going to be venturing outside this forest because I don't have a death wish. Even with Drake, if I go to that grasslands over there, I'm just going to get annihilated. If I go to the desert, I might stand a chance, but yeah. There's a nice little castle over there. There's a lot of stuff on this world map, actually. I've put a lot of stuff here. But let's just head over to the Moonlight Cavern and... No, let's save right here, because it's 20 minutes. And I'll continue this in a moment. See you later.